Jeremy, can you talk about what this week has been like for you, getting drafted and getting to this point?
Yeah, I mean, it's just it's hard to put into words how not only I feel, but my family feels about it. I'm sure everybody knows how much it meant to my dad and everything with the video came out with that. But, yeah, like I said, I grew up a Jets fan, me, my family, my brothers, and just to be here, putting on the helmet and the jersey for the first time today, it feels great, and I can't wait to get to work.
What was that like, putting on all that stuff?
It was surreal. I mean, I put on like the fake fan bought stuff when I was a kid the whole time, and just dreaming about this moment, dreaming about maybe one day being this player that I am right now, and to finally do it for the real deal, it means a lot. And I know it takes a lot of. It doesn't come with nothing. So I mean, making sure I keep working, keep being the same person that got me there, because I don't want to change now. And I'm just fortunate. I'm blessed to be here.
At Ohio State, you obviously didn't have the opportunity to contribute as much in the passing game.
Yeah.
When you decided to go there, was that something that you knew was going to be the case, that you probably used more as a blocker than a receiver? And why not go to a different school that might give you an opportunity to be more prolific in the passing game?
Yeah, I think the main reason I chose to go to Ohio State was because of the development that it takes to be a player there, play tight end there. I didn't play tight end in high school. I mostly played receiver, and I didn't do blocking at all. So my first time blocking was when I stepped on campus in the summer at Ohio State, and I was super raw, and that's what I wanted. That's why I chose to go there, is because I wanted to be able to be developed and be that complete guy. I hated the idea of not being able to do a job that the coach wanted me to do, and from my first moment trying to go against Nick Bosa and Chase Young and guys like that, I was getting killed. I couldn't touch those guys, and just going back to the fact that I chose to be there for a reason. I wanted to be developed. I wanted to get tough. I wanted to learn the fundamentals and what it takes to be a complete tight end. And catching touchdowns and catching passes is nice, but for me and what I wanted to get out of my 4 years at school, I wanted to be developed, and I wanted to be that guy that could play every down at tight end.
How did you get to that point where Robert Saleh referred to as a bulldog in the run game? How did you get to that?
I think I've always grew up with a good, tough background, working with my dad and my mom, working with my brothers and stuff. And so I always knew that I had a tough background, but just the mentality that it took to be a dominant player in the run game. Obviously, you're going to not make every block, and the fundamentals get out of the way, but the first thing is you got to have the mentality of wanting to do it. And I wasn't always like that. I learned that at Ohio State. The guys in the tight end room really brought that upon me, and once I found out what it took to just have that mentality of being aggressive and taking your shots, I think that's what I kind of took that and ran. And I might not win every block, but I'm going to try and get after everybody every single play. So that's kind of where I adopted that, and just trying to keep building on that, keep building on the fundamentals and the technique that it takes to be that consistent player. But you're going to get everything I got every play. So that's kind of where it came from.
Jeremy, the choice to go to Ohio State and develop like that, was that made with this in mind? To get to this level.
Yeah.
Was that your thought process right from the start?
For sure. I mean, the strength staff and the off-field stuff at Ohio State is second to none. So, I mean, that was a big part of my decision to go there with Coach Mick and those guys, is to be developed, to be that player. And I was thinking 4 years down the line of where I am today, I wanted to be that developed guy. I hated the idea, like I said before, of being limited to certain jobs and certain plays because I can't do something, because anything I can do, I want to be able to be challenged. I want to be able to work at it, and I want to be able to be fine-tuned at different things. So the mentality's always been there, wanting to get better and wanting to be great. And going to Ohio State and being challenged in that aspect of being, you can't step on the field unless you're trusted enough to be able to hold up in pass protection or cut off a defensive end or make a play in the passing game. You have to be able to do all three to play at Ohio State. And that was the offense we ran. You had to be trusted. So I fell in love with that, and I fell in love with the idea of being where I am today and continuing to grow, because I got a long way to go.
When you have such limited opportunities in the passing game, how much added pressure does that have you to make those plays? So you get your number called again, so to speak, because you have so many great receivers on that, on the outside.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, you get those few opportunities and you want to make them count. But whenever you're in the game and in those moments, it just goes back to your training and who you are as a competitor. And for me, whenever that ball was in the air, it was always, my mindset was that it's my ball and I'm going to go make the play. And whether that was one time a game or 10 times a game, every one is a huge deal to me, and I'm going to be able to make that play when my number is called and be able to help the team, whether it's in the run game, in pass protection, or in the receiving game. I just wanted to be able to execute my job and do whatever I had to do. I never got caught up in the production and the numbers, because we were at the point of attack in all different ways, and I was producing for that offense in so many different ways that I feel like I couldn't have gotten anywhere else.
Who was your favorite Jet when you were growing up?
So there was a bunch of them. Actually, I went to Leon Washington. I love watching him return kicks and stuff. He was great. I love watching Darrell Revis and Revis Island. That was a big thing for me growing up with all my friends and stuff. But, yeah, just a bunch of guys. DeBrickashaw Ferguson grew up in Long Island as well, so just knowing him and just a bunch of guys. I was a fan my whole life, so it's pretty surreal to be here.
There
With
really
your high
haven't
school
been too many.
career,
There really haven't been too many
with your high school career, Lindenhurst, a lot of size speed guys, especially in this area, they get gobbled up by the private schools or the Catholic schools. Can you talk about your commitment to Lindenhurst and staying at that high school?
Yeah, I mean, ever since my grandpa came over from Germany, we've been in that same town. My dad went there. I grew up there, played with all the same group of guys growing up, and nothing against the private schools and Catholic schools. I think those are great. I had opportunities to play there, but I just wanted to stick to where I grew up and the town that I grew up in. I had a sense of pride of everything I do. I have pride in it, so that just goes along with, now that I'm here, I have a sense of pride of this is where I grew up, this is the team I grew up rooting for, so they're going to get everything I got, and that was the same thing back then. Was I didn't want to leave schools. I didn't transfer from Ohio State because I didn't get a lot of catches. I stuck there because I chose to be there, and I'm going to give my teammates everything I got.
There really haven't been too many great, in recent memory, tight ends that have come through this building. Like you named all those players, whether it was Brick, whether it was Leon. The tight end position, though, hasn't really been super utilized here in recent memory. Is that something that you take pride in, that you kind of want to develop and be one of the great tight ends in this franchise's history? Yeah,
I think that there's definitely some guys that you can think of that have been here. I got a chance to be with Anthony Beck at the Combine. He's been here. And, yeah, like you said, there's maybe not the Hall of Fame major guys that come to mind, but as far as just players and ball players, there's those guys. But yeah, I want to be the best at everything I do. So I want to represent this organization the right way, handle myself the right way, and ultimately just perfect my craft to the point where I could be one of those all-time greats.
The Jets made a big commitment to tight end this offseason, obviously bringing in a couple guys before you. Just as a young guy coming in here wanting to make an impact at tight end, what does that say to you about where they're going, and then how much can you benefit from learning from those two guys?
Yeah, I think it's a great situation to come into, especially as a young guy. CJ actually reached out to me the night of the draft and just congratulated me and said that excited to get to work. And yeah, I think it's just the biggest thing I want to gain from those guys. I want to gain their trust. I want to show them that I'm here to work. I'm here to get better, and whatever they need me to do, I'll do. So that's the biggest thing for me as what I want to get out of my rookie year is to gain the trust and the confidence of my teammates first and the coaching staff. And there's no better way to start that is with the veterans that we got in the room now. And I can't wait to meet them in person and get to work with them.